Here. Says we are live. I hope we are. Go through my little opening. Of course, you know how I do. Okay. There we go. Now you should have audio. What about sound now? Is there audio now?
Okay.
We'll wait and see what they say, but hopefully it'll be there. There we go. Now you
Oops,
should have
I'm getting
audio.
an
What about sound
echo.
now? Is there audio? Yeah, that's because something's playing on your side because I hear it coming from your side. But do
Okay.
you have like
Yep,
the
maybe I
video playing
do.
somewhere? Okay.
Oops. Sorry about that. It was me.
Okay. No problem. No worries at all. Are you kidding? No problem. All
I
right. So
went to
you
YouTube to get the
guys,
link and left it on.
there you go. So hopefully you guys out there in the real world can now hear us. Okay. So they said yes. Yep. Sounds good now. Good. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Yes. I tell you what, it's really this is pretty cool. This is awesome stuff. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, when we first started, it was so much fun when we were out there. I can't wait to do this some more. Um, and talk about it some more because if we have half the fun tonight talking about it, hopefully get some people out there excited and encouraged about the program and stuff like that too. I'm always looking for somebody, or other people to kind of feel, we're always looking for new people, right? I mean, aren't you? I know we are in our community for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I've been a part of this with Google for 3 years now, I think. We should tell a little bit about just what it is that we are a part. It is now called Product Experts, and I'm real glad that they changed the terminology. It
Mm-hmm.
was called Top Contributors.
Right.
And we knew what top contributors meant, but you had to really explain it to other people. It was
Nobody else
three,
did.
3 years ago when Google Photos first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know everything. I mean, I had been a Picasa expert before that.
Mm-hmm.
And when Google Photos came out, I knew that that was going to be the next big thing when it came to photos. And I wanted to learn everything I could. So I jumped on the the forums, the Google
Right.
forums where
Right.
people ask questions. I would
Right.
read all the questions. I would ask my own questions. I would
Mm-hmm.
answer questions whenever I felt I could. And when people came back and said um, that worked, that's when I knew that I knew what I was talking
Yeah.
about.
Exactly.
So
That's
I
the key.
got involved in that, and the folks out in Google with the Google Photos
Mm-hmm.
take notice and say, "Do you want to join this process?
And
Be a
so
top contributor."
yeah.
And I said, sure. And so it's a volunteer position. Nobody pays us anything, and we answer questions, but they give us perks. And the number one perk is this get together once a year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like every other year. This is my third year with the Top Contributor, now Product Expert program. But this year was the first one where the attendance came from all over the world.
Oh, okay. In 2015, it was supposed to be. Here's the way it was. Okay, so in 2015 was the first summit I went to, and the summit, what the summit is when everyone in the world, all the top contributors come together, and then what they do the even year. So the 2016 was just I think they call it. I can't remember what they call it. It's a meetup. Yeah, it's a meetup, and that's just like regional, and it's also Rising Star. At the time, it was Rising Stars and Top Contributors. And then 2017, well, that's when a lot of stuff was going on with our government, and it was hard to get people. They were blocking countries, all kinds of stuff was going on. But I don't need to get into all that. But it was supposed to be a summit. They decided just to make it regional as well, so that they just ended up going regional. And then 2018 was supposed to be a meetup, but we all said we want everybody back together. So that's kind of the way it came about. So,
and that to me is one of the very top benefits, perks of being part of this program, is the meeting people from other places in the world. In my Google Photos Product Experts groups, there's one guy that is so active. He answers hundreds of questions every month. His name is Paolo, and he lives in Italy, in Milan. So, and because he's so active, and I'm active at least in parts of it anyway, I get to know him online. And when we went to Italy last year, we made a point to meet up and spend the day in Milan
so awesome.
With Paolo. How cool
that
is
that? So awesome.
And another guy named Alex lives around Berlin, and we had one day in Berlin, and we made sure to make arrangements to have lunch with him.
That is so awesome.
And this year, I really enjoyed. Did you go to the first? Actually, it was kind of the pre-conference day where they had what they called. What were they? They were little informal product.
Yeah, the
groups.
UX studies. The UX studies.
The UX studies.
Yes.
Yeah. And I went to one for Blogger.
Oh wow.
And Bloggers, I've been on Blogger since 2003.
Wow.
So and we teach it a lot. So I enjoyed meeting the team from Blogger and learned that they work out of the Sydney, Australia office. Guess what? We're going to Sydney next year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
And I've already made arrangements to meet up for lunch at the Google offices in Sydney.
That's fantastic. That is just great.
So here, little old me in Fort Lauderdale, or usually in an RV just traveling around the country. I have people I know in Milan, in Sydney.
Isn't that something, though? I mean, that's just incredible. It was so, and being a mentor, I'm also a mentor in the group. So, and Paolo is too. So I got to meet him in person too. So it was kind of special for me to meet some of those people as well. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. That has to be probably the best thing, in my opinion, of the whole trip is meeting having all the people from different countries and cultures all talking. And because we, like you said, we see them in Hangouts, when we do our Hangouts or our, event things that we do, like we do one every 2 weeks with our search group and stuff. But that's just fantastic, being able to reach out and see some of those people live and communicate with them and talk to them a little bit. I love that. That's a great part of it. Great part of it. That's my favorite part, probably.
Show me your pictures.
Okay, let's all show pictures. Let's go to, all right, let me go to, all right. Are you screen sharing? I'll show some of yours too.
Oh, okay. But you go ahead, you first.
All right. And if you want to see, I'm going to let you, so you can see what I'm showing.
Oh,
There you
right.
go. Now you should be able to do that. Do you see that now? Do you see that?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm seeing PE Summit.
Okay, good. Okay, so here's just some of the picture. I'm just going to toggle through quickly. I'm just going to go through because some of it's just people, some of it's stuff like that. Just everybody from like they were showing on the plane when they were getting their movies they were watching. And then this is the hotel bar or whatever that we were at where we stayed. There's like a little restaurant there. Then this is them up in California, just going to the different places before they even got to the summit. Somebody took some early pictures, so I wanted to show some of that just to show you the areas that we were in and stuff like that.
I noticed a skeleton going by in one of your pictures. We should say that the first day of the summit was Halloween.
Yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right. Halloween, absolutely. So yeah, here's some of the. I'm just gonna show you a whole bunch. I know I'm going fast, but I was just showing some of the stuff. This is pretty cool. This is where they set up that candy thing. That was pretty awesome. Candy table.
Because every Android version is named after some kind of sweet.
There you go. That's right. I didn't see any pies though. I was looking for them. There's Scott. There's some of the guys that I met, some of the mentors and stuff that we were hanging out, and then everybody wanted to get a couple of these pillows.
Everybody wanted to swipe one of those Google pillows. Yeah.
That was funny. There's all of us having a little bit of fun. Let me go back out here. So, yeah. Then they had this cauldron of drink. It was so funny.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't? Oh,
no.
Yeah. Actually, there's Scott when he got one. I got a couple. There you go. I got a couple pictures with it too.
I didn't see that.
Oh, it was so awesome. And then there's the skull. That guy actually carved that skull. It's really quite cool. Really neat stuff.
Yeah, I loved that jack-o'-lantern.
Yes, they did a fantastic job. I was working on that thing for a while. Really neat.
So that was just the first evening, which was a cocktail party, dinner, get together.
Correct. It was fun. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. What was neat though too was all of the community managers would dress up. So here I got a picture of. Let me see if I can get Andy on screen. There he is. There's Andy. That's our search. He had a wig and a big funny tie on and stuff. So that was fun. I mean, they made it fun. They had a good time. I know it's kind of hard for us to bring a costume in the plane along with everything else, but they did. They dressed up and made it a lot of fun. So that was kind of fun. That was neat.
Okay. I have some pictures. Let me turn screen sharing on. Where'd it go? I'm lost. Okay. There we go. And so you seeing my screen now?
Let me go see. Yep, I sure am. There we go. That's in the auditorium.
So sure, I'm going to get to the beginning. So here's mine. Yes, I started off leaving Fort Lauderdale. I just love the view in Fort Lauderdale. Look at that ocean. Mm-hmm. And then there was this white stuff. I don't know what that was. and then getting to the summit on Halloween.
That's funny. Love it.
And a friend of mine who lives in the Bay Area came and visited me. You were allowed to bring a guest to the first night cocktail party. And there's that. And
there's the campus now.
So we have just arrived, coming in this big black bus somewhere.
So yeah, they took us
at the new Google Event Center.
Yeah, so last year it was more at places, at Google offices, I guess.
Yeah.
And this, because there were so many more of us, was at this Google Event Center. So we're a little more removed from the
Googleplex
area.
Yeah.
And this is a picture of the agenda.
Yeah. Brand new. It's a brand new complex that they just finished up about a year ago, I think. They were talking about.
That's what I understood. So which breakout sessions did you go to?
I had the opportunity. I went to the early morning one was Chrome. And the second one, my second session that afternoon was search that was awesome.
I went to the
goodness.
search one just by accident because I signed up for Google Photos in the morning. I had to go to
Yeah,
Google Photos,
right,
of course.
right.
And then my second choice was Blogger. And that's what they put me in, saying it was in the afternoon, but they were mistaken.
Oh, really?
Blogger was also in the morning. So I had to just pick something. My third choice would be Maps, but they said that's one that I could not choose. I don't know why. So I picked Search, and yes, that
It
was
was
interesting.
awesome. It was fantastic. I learned more in that one, and the possibilities of what's going to come out of that could be awesome. I can't say anything. We're all under NDA, but I will say this, that to me was the most exciting, I think. And I love that the engineers were right there with us. It was good conversation. It was good. I mean, I enjoyed that a lot.
What was interesting, and especially in the Search, is that they weren't so much telling us what's happening
They
as
wanted us.
asking us for what we think people want.
Mm-hmm. Or how would you use this? Or if you saw this, what would you do? Or that kind of thing. It was really, really trying to. They asked some leading questions to try and, so we would think outside the box more. But I had the best time, the best session. It was the best session, hands down. And I've
Now wait a
been
minute.
3 or 4 years. I've been 3 or 4 years, and I'm going to tell you right now. To me, that was probably
Yeah?
the best. Yeah.
Oh, well, I picked a good one then,
Yeah,
huh?
you did,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it was interesting. I learned some things. I learned how much out of the box they
Yeah.
think. I mean, Search isn't just search. It's search and keep and learn and understand and search behind the search. And
Yep.
yeah, it's not just search.
That's right. It's wonderful. I mean, it really is. If half of that stuff goes through, I'm going to be excited. I think it's going to be awesome.
Now, seems to me that I tried something on my Android phone
Mm-hmm.
that they showed us in there, and it was already working. So, wondering if that would be something that we could show, but I haven't practiced it. I don't,
Gotcha.
but I'll see if you talk a bit and I come up with it. I might.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me show a couple. Yeah, no.
I
Let me,
might show.
so anyway, here's a couple of mine. Here's a couple of things. This is the outside at nighttime. This is really kind of cool. This was neat. This is when our the Hangouts group, we all got together. And
the weather was perfect.
It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But look at that. That's one of the buildings at night. Isn't that so cool where you can just see all the lights and everything? You can guess which one that one is. Google Cloud. Yeah, there's the Google Center at nighttime. And right over there, that building that it's pointing to, that's where we ate. That's where the kitchen sink was, where we had dinner and the pizza truck came and build your own pizza and all that stuff. So, yeah.
And I didn't see you on the dance floor.
No, yeah, and you will not. That is something that I don't do.
Oh, I did.
I know. I think I saw a couple pictures of that. There's where they're
Yes.
making in the back in the kitchen. There you can make your own ceviche. I think is what it was. I didn't do it, but I was like, okay. I don't wanna do that.
There was a bunch
That's
of cool stuff. Yeah, for food.
Yeah. Yep, good stuff. All right. So, did you find it?
Well, I'm
Still
just
searching?
still trying
Okay.
something. I don't.
I'm trying to find. I'm gonna try and find you dancing there. That's what I'm gonna try and do.
Oh, well, I have that. Let me
I'm
go back
sure
to
you
sharing. Because funny thing, I mean, last year I was on the dance floor too. Last year they had a live band.
Oh, I know.
This year they had a DJ.
Here's where you build your own pizza right here, where they're.
Oh, I like the heated toilet seats.
You like that? That's your favorite, huh? There you go.
And this is a screenshot of when we did a little live
Oh, yeah.
with Jim back here in Florida and you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the auditorium where most of the main presentations happened. And now this was my Google Photos breakout session.
Okay.
And that is David Lieb, who is responsible for the creation of Google Photos. And I follow him on Twitter, and I love him. And to me, it was like meeting a rock star.
That's so cool.
To meet David Lieb. And I gave him an autographed copy of my second edition of the book. And when I handed it to him, he says, "Oh, I have your first book right on my desk."
There you go. There you go.
That was fabulous. He's just such a genuine and smart, and as everybody at Google is, but him especially. And with Google Photos, I feel real good to be part of that.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
All right. Still, I was trying, and this is my Google Photos group, but here we go. Here's the dancing. See what you missed?
I know it. I was so tired after that day, though. They needed to make it 3 days instead of just the 2. There you go.
And what's really funny, this is me dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And, who took this picture? I don't even know. I had left my phone. On the table.
Right.
As I went onto the dance floor. And when I came back, this video had been taken of me dancing. I don't know who did it.
That's awesome, though, huh?
But I just thought that was really cool. Somebody who I had been talking to noticed that I set my phone down. And
that's what I love about sharing photo albums too. You know what I'm saying? Because you're able to get that kind of stuff and capture it and download it and have it. So that's kind of neat. That's awesome that they did that, though.
Yeah. And then the main talk. So my top 3 takeaways from the summit. Number 1 was the artificial intelligence, machine learning. Scott Penberthy. He was, I think, the first speaker, or maybe the first speaker on the second day. I don't remember. But oh my God, everything he said went right over my head.
Yeah.
There you go. It was the most brain power I have ever been in the presence of. But so I have then also looked him up. Well, he talked about Jeff Dean and how Google gave him a budget of $20 billion.
Isn't that crazy?
To come up with the ability of AI to do AI. So I've also went and watched him. He did a TED talk, and saying that of the things that have really changed our lives, I mean, PCs, internet, smartphones, we ain't seen nothing to what AI
brings to the table. I know it's incredible.
And it's exciting and cool. And I really do believe that the people creating it have their heart in the right place. And once the genie's out of the bottle, who knows what's going to happen. Very, very thought-provoking stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That was like you, it was so far over my head. I was like, okay, I just don't get what he's saying. But then I felt the same way if you watched I/O back in, what was it, last May or June, whenever they had the I/O. They talked about AI there, same thing with all of the, that was all public, everything that they showed and everything. A lot of the same stuff, but not quite as detailed as what this guy was doing, but
this guy was putting up formulas that I didn't even recognize the characters, let alone understand the formula.
Exactly. But it was, exactly. So, but it was really interesting to hear their perspective and like you said, the outlook or the future look, I guess, is more than outlook. It's the future look, you know what I'm saying, of what potential is. That's the key. That's what's really kind of interesting.
But I thought it was also interesting how they treat this meeting where they gather all of us volunteers who answer questions about their products. And I think one of their goals is to get us more educated. I mean, to give us a little inside glimpse about what the Google company is like, and what they're working on. And what was it? Tensor processing?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How they have created the fastest, most powerful computing power.
Yeah, again, they talked about that in I/O as well. They talked about that exact same thing. That's where they first brought it up. That's where first time I ever heard of it, let alone, But yeah.
So that was a kind of a number one takeaway that struck me from this. Number two, and this was the same last year also, but even more so this year, is the worldwide scale that Google has to operate on. The languages. They brought in product experts, people like you and me, but from all over the world. And they had to translate for those people, just like the United Nations does. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a speaker on the stage speaking English. Mm-hmm. Last year, there were some people from South America, and they had sound booths in the back of the room, people just talking into a microphone to headsets of the attendees. This year, there was an app.
Yeah, they had an app on their phone. They just sat there with the app and plugged it in and listened to it.
Into their earphones or headsets. And I asked somebody who was a non-English speaker, I just asked for is it good? Are you understanding what's going on or no? And they said, but generally, yes. And that's just magic. And the fact that Google has to make all of their products understandable to people how many different languages do they?
They had it on there. I can't remember how many it was, though. It was incredible how many. It was like, I don't even know. I don't even want to guess because I'll probably get it wrong. But yeah, it is incredible. The only thing is the only thing is one-way conversation, though. They couldn't really come up and give a question, up at the mic. That's the only thing. Whereas I liked the headsets before, because what they did in 2015, where they had the headsets and the mic and that summit and everything, it was fantastic because they had a mic just for foreigners, and then a person they would ask their question, and then a person from the back would actually ask it for them. It worked out really well. I mean, it really was. It was really interesting. But yeah, all of this. I mean, it's so fascinating. Just what we're trying to do and what we try to do to accomplish and stuff. I agree with you. It's awesome.
So one thing that I did kind of like better last year, and maybe because it was a smaller group, is that every meal we tended to be able to sit with our fellow Google Photos product experts and Google Photos product team as well. And this year it was a lot more. You had to just kind of mingle on your own.
Totally agree with you. That's one thing. That's probably the biggest, in my eyes, biggest disappointment, I have to admit, is there wasn't time to do a lot of stuff with your group. And when it was loud. It was like when all the music or whatever and all this other stuff. So you really didn't get that chance to sit there and chat with your individual groups and things like that. We took the time, some of us, but you still couldn't do every group, or all the groups that you're part of and things like that. So it was really tough. I totally agree with you. I think, and this is just my opinion, and listen, I'm not complaining at all. I love this. I mean, this isn't a complaint. But what I would do different, instead of standing in line waiting to get my swag, go ahead and give me the swag. And then all that hour or 2 hours that I stood in line to get my caricature or whatever, I could just be talking and socializing with somebody. That's my opinion.
Yeah, really.
For whatever it's worth. And same thing with food. Instead of standing in line with food, take us up in sections, or if they wanted to do a caricature thing, take a number, and when that number's up, just have that number, go over there, get your caricature, and come back. That kind of thing, where you have more social going on. In my opinion.
Yeah. Did you get a caricature?
No.
No?
I was not
Oh,
gonna
I
say-
did.
I was not gonna say
I just love caricatures. Let me get back to
Okay.
my photos. So
All right.
that's back to dancing. There we go.
Let me get to that. Oh, there it is. I love it. There you go. Yeah, I was not.
I didn't think that that's exactly what I looked like, but it's fun. It's
That's right.
cool.
That's right.
And they were amazing. I mean, that took them about, I don't know, 10 minutes
Yeah.
to do that. And they were just doing one after another, after another, after another. And just what a great party thing to have is
Yeah.
artists doing caricatures. People loved it.
Yep, I totally agree.
And-
It could have been a lot more organized. All I'm saying. That's my only point. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying,
Well, I really liked in past years knowing that I was sitting at lunch with my group,
Yes.
whereas this year I just had to kind of mingle and, felt kind of like I was back in high school looking for the
That's right.
who accepted me.
That's right. Here's a whole wall of them. I'm sure.
The caricatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there they are. So that was kind of fun too.
Oh, there you are. You see you in the, isn't that
wasn't
you?
me. That wasn't me. No.
No? Okay. Well, I have one I know is you. So this is the whole audience
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure.
during the main presentations.
Okay.
And there's the guy who spoke another language as far as I'm concerned, the language of mathematics and
That's true.
AI.
Where we all needed a translator.
Oh, there we go. There's one of those formulas.
Yeah.
Did anybody in the audience, he didn't really expect that anybody in the audience would understand that formula, did he?
Oh,
He was
no.
just trying to blow us out of the water.
Yeah.
This kid, this kid was up there asking, this kid did understand.
Yeah,
those.
that's right.
And
That's funny.
and he asked a question that I also couldn't understand the question, but I was so impressed. And he was there with his mother. I mean, I say kid,
That's
honestly,
awesome.
he was there with his mother, but he's going to be one of those future
Yep.
developers with Google. And
Here, I'm going to show a quick picture just to show everybody. This is one of the rooms that had a game of what is that, Space Invaders or whatever, being played on the wall as you walk. It was just so cool. So cool seeing that kind of stuff. I mean, there was all kinds of neat stuff. All right.
there
back-
you
back
are.
to you.
That's you. I know it's you.
That is me, yes. That
So
is
you
me.
got up and asked some question.
I did. It was in Tailwind. I was talking about our new version of the forums. Had some questions on that and just pushing. And here's the interesting thing. I was up there asking about that, right? And the day before, I was in UX studies, okay, where they talked about Tailwind. Tailwind was one of the UX studies that I signed up for. And my biggest thing, okay, I said, and Tailwind, I'm sorry, that's our code word, whatever. What it is, it's the forums, okay? It's the new forums that are coming.
It's the software where we go to answer people's
Exactly,
questions.
Exactly.
They've rolled out a new version of it,
Yes.
and they call it Tailwind.
Yes. And Community Console is where you can have all of the product forums all in one place. So in the Community Console, I'm using it because I have one of the products that I use there. I wanted to be able to do no replies. I want to pull up anything that has no replies. And I emphasize that I did a UX study months ago where they had me come in. I did a UX study at the summit. And then that day I got up and
Now
mentioned,
UX also, that means
UX.
user interface,
There
right?
you go. Yes.
Okay.
And then so I also stood up there. That's where I got up and spoke. And I said, I really want this feature. And then as I sat down, the engineer that saw me the day before came up to me. And this is how powerful this is. He said, your voice is heard. You're going to have that feature by Monday. It might be later than Monday, but expect it Monday. I mean, seriously. So that just goes to show you that they do listen to what you're saying. And it wasn't Monday, but it was like Tuesday or something, and it was there. Crazy.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And it doesn't always happen.
No, absolutely not.
I've been asking for a feature having to do with Google Photos albums since 2015.
Oh, you know what? I probably have too. I don't know if it's the same one, but I know that I have too. What's yours?
Oh, sorting
Yeah.
albums, sorting and searching album.
Yeah, that would be really, really good. Especially when you have a big album like what we had at the summit. That's a huge album with everybody's photos in there.
Yeah, I mean sorting album. I have thousands, literally,
of albums. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I need to be able to search within my albums.
Gotcha.
But I honestly do believe that they have heard me and they are working on it. There's just other things that
priority and whatever else.
We'll get it one of these days.
That's right. I saw Richard ask a question while we were in there. He said, why did Google Photos stop allowing posting pictures via computer in post on comments so soon and not wait till next August, etc.? Oh, is that on Google Plus? He's talking about on Google Plus. Okay. I don't know on Google Plus. It's not really a Google Photos
Plus. That's a whole other story.
That is a whole other story. Yes, there was a lot of. I saw a bunch of Google Plus product experts there.
Saying they got to find another product.
Find another product. And I'm sure they will. I mean, they'll have something. Even if they go to G Suite, because Google Plus is still over on G Suite, they could still go. They could still go through that route, and not really lose a step as far as that goes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's a whole nother sore subject. But I'm getting more and more into Google Assistant and Google Home and all that kind of stuff. And I've been answering a lot of questions over there because I use it all the time. And what's interesting, one thing about Google Home, because it's a hardware product, I don't know if this is why it is, but I will say this. When you're in the forum and you're asking a question, if you wait long enough, over a minute, I think, a chat box comes up in the bottom right corner when you're doing that. And you can actually chat with someone from Google to help you with your issue. I've done that more than once. And I'm going to tell you what, it was fantastic.
Now, wait, just repeat that with the Google Home.
When I'm in the Google Home forum and I go in and I want to ask a question or search for a question, if I'm there for 1 minute, I have a chat box that comes up that I can go and click chat to chat with someone about my issue. And both times, I did it more than 2 times, but 2 of the times they actually said, do you mind if I call you and we can walk you through this? And I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So they did. They called me and walked me through, because they could hear what my home was saying. They didn't want to trigger it off where, it was going to make the Google Home do something that, and it was perfect. It was perfect. It was great. Now, it was the best customer support as far as that goes.
Are you at a paid level on that, or?
Nope.
Then it's not part of G Suite? I mean, I thought it was only things that have some.
That's what I thought too.
The element that get live support.
I thought the exact same thing, and I was just so impressed. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not telling anybody about this because I have questions all the time. But what's nice is I actually learned something from that though. So when I learned it, I was able to answer questions from people in the community that had the same issue that I did. So that's been very beneficial to me. And I actually suggest that. I suggest that same thing and see if they get that same opportunity. I'd be real curious, and maybe you can do it, because you're not a Google Home
No, I'm
Product
Google Photos, and that's it.
Photos, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Do that one time. I don't know. Do you have a Google Home? I don't even know if you have
Yeah,
one. Okay.
they gave us a
Oh,
Google
that's right.
Home
The
Mini
mini,
last
the
year,
mini.
remember?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And then we have a regular one too.
gotcha. Well, test it. I mean, you have to try that out one time. Go and ask a question, or go to even just to search a question that you have maybe with the Google Home. Just something like, can I text message on there? Just to see. And
All right, all right,
and
cool.
just see what happens.
So
Yeah, let me
that was
know.
part of, I mean, one thing I say it's great that they have rebranded us from top contributors to product experts. But one area of confusion now is that Google has come up with this thing called Google One,
Mm-hmm.
that if you are in a pay for tier of Google Drive, for example, you have the Google One service, and one of the benefits of being a Google One subscriber is that you get a Google expert help.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's going to be real confusing.
Confusing with us. That's not us. So,
Yeah, that's not us.
It's going to be hard to determine.
Google employee.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're talking about.
Not at all.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not part of that. I mean, that's what was so strange to me. And it's certain things. I think it's more hardware driven that I've found that.
Yeah, well, you have a Pixel. But that wouldn't have had anything to do with it?
Don't think so. I don't.
Because I think that is one of the best benefits of owning a Pixel is that you can just call help
yes.
on anything that has to do with your Pixel phone, and you get voice live.
Do I have that with Pixel, the original Pixel as well?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I do have a Pixel XL, and I did not know that I had that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
awesome. I'm pretty sure Jim has. Yeah. You go right on if you go to settings, your system settings, one of the options is call support.
Oh, that's nice. I did not even know that I had that. That's so cool.
I don't have a Pixel.
Well,
and I do think my next phone is going to be a Samsung Note 9.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, although speaking of which, my current phone is a iPhone 7 Plus, and we just got today in Google Photos the color. What's that called? Color Pop.
Oh, really?
Have you been using that on you've had it on the Pixel for, I don't know, a month?
Mm-hmm.
But we just got it on the iPhone, and that is really cool.
It is good. It's good. It adds a lot.
Yeah, it means if you took the picture with the portrait feature. So the portrait feature on my iPhone 7 Plus means that a person's face is in focus and the background is blurry. Mm-hmm. If you took the picture with that mode, then you can, in Google Photos, tap the edit button, and the adjustments option in the middle, and Color Pop will be one of the filters. Mm-hmm. So it turns that blurry background to black and white, and the face in the foreground stays color, and it's a really nice effect.
Yeah, I love that. So
we just got that today or yesterday.
Really? I did. You know what? I did not know. So you're saying it has the blur effect on the back?
Yeah.
So you just go to edit and you look for pop. Is that what it is?
Now on a Pixel, you would have had to take the picture with the, what's it called, lens blur.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I have come to decide, that the picture had to be taken with whatever effect your phone has that creates the bokeh, the blurry background, and the in focus foreground. But I can show it to you on here. Let me see.
Let me see here. But Snapseed has it, right?
Well,
or no?
Not really. No, at least definitely not in the same way. I'm going to join with my iPhone and share my iPhone and see.
Yeah, okay, it has lens blur and Snapseed. Okay, that's what I've done it with.
Yeah, but that's a post-processing lens blur.
True, good point. Yes, you're right. Okay, so you're saying
Um,
during the photo you could do that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's been my experience so far that the photo had to be taken in that mode
Okay, I got
in
you.
order for the feature to appear.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I need to check
Okay,
that
so
out.
that's
So,
my iPhone joining this meeting,
okay.
and I will not add sound, and then I will share my iPhone screen.
All right, let's go. Let's see if I can pull up the screen share of that device. I can't. I don't know why.
Oh,
Let me hold on. Oh, because it's two. It's supposed to be two people. That's why I think. Okay, yeah, I can get mine, but I can't get yours for whatever reason. But I can try. Okay,
okay.
there it is. There it is. Got it.
All
Got the
right.
screen share.
So now I'll open my Google Photos and I will find a photo that I took in portrait mode. And it's pretty cool. You can just search for portrait. And come on.
Hmm.
Alrighty. So yeah, there's a picture of Jim, and it's very obvious that this was taken in portrait mode. Yes, you can see that his face is in focus and the
Yeah.
background is blurry.
And this is called lens blur. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's called portrait on the iPhone.
Okay.
It's called lens blur on the Pixel. And let me go this way so you can see it even more. And as of today, when I tap the edit button on the iPhone, I now have color pop as one of the filters. See the second filter there?
Yeah.
That didn't exist until today, and it still
okay.
doesn't exist on any picture unless it was taken in portrait mode.
Okay.
I tap on color pop, and then I move the little circle to be, right on his face. And the rest of this picture goes black and white.
Gotcha.
I think that is just way cool.
That is very cool. I am going to try this lens blur. I did not know that I had that option. I've been wanting that too. That's so cool.
Oh, well, the lens blur on the Pixel is a little,
not great.
a little funky.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice with it.
Okay.
You have to start with the lens blur option,
Okay.
and then you have to snap a shot and move the phone a hair, but it gives you the instructions on screen.
So you can see it.
Yeah. But here I save a copy. And now,
awesome.
yeah. So
you have to do that in app on a Pixel. Is that what you're saying? You can't do that with
yes, it's
had to be originally taken that way.
It had to be originally taken that way, yes.
Got it.
And I don't know where it got to, but it's on here somewhere. Yeah. And the other one is a depth. So here's another one that's obviously taken in portrait mode because my face is in focus and the background is not. And if I want the background to be a little bit more or less in focus, I tap on the, I go into edit mode and then tap on adjustments.
Oh, wow.
No, that one. This one must have been taken with the Pixel. So it's
uneditable.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one didn't work. It has to be the right kind of picture. Edit and options. Nope. On the right pictures, there is now a third option here. In addition to light and color, there is depth. But yeah, that's pretty weird that it only works if it was taken with the right phone in the right mode.
That is strange that it would be that way.
Yeah, and I don't see any that are right. Let me look for portrait again.
And I love those. I love photos that are taken that way. It's one of my
Yes.
favorite things and my favorite ways of doing it. So I have to learn how to do that.
It is so effective. There's another one. There's one of me in that, and I know that was taken with the iPhone. I go into edit mode, options. There we go. See the third bar down there
I
now?
do. Depth, yeah.
And depth means I move the circle right to my nose, and now I can make the background be totally out of focus, or I can bring it back a little bit more.
Gotcha.
Oh, it doesn't make that much difference with this one. But you can see a little bit of difference.
Oh, yeah.
On
Definitely.
some of them, it makes a huge difference. Yeah, you can see that it goes more out of focus as I go towards the right
Yeah.
and a little bit clearer.
Well, if you want something out of focus, just let me take your pictures for you.
All right.
Nice. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, fun stuff. Okay, I'll stop it.
There we go. You can, I wonder if I have that. No, I don't. Okay. I was just seeing if I did. Okay, good. Yeah, that's good stuff, though. Great stuff. Awesome, as usual. Really great. The product, I'm telling you, right now it's fun to be a product expert. There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of cool stuff, and a lot of things going on. Thanks for coming on, sharing your stuff with me. That was awesome, amazing.
Yeah.
As always,
Yeah,
I will
fun.
invite the community in afterward. They can chat with us a little bit. If you got a little bit of time, you can chat with them and stuff if you want
Sure.
to. But thank you everybody that showed up tonight. That was awesome, and I hope everybody has a very, very amazing Thanksgiving. I am
Happy
very,
Thanksgiving.
Yes, I am very thankful for people like Chris. Just being a good friend and coming on and doing the stuff that you do and helping me. I know I've reached out to you with specific questions sometime, and I appreciate that kind of stuff. I'm also thankful for the community members that come in the community and anybody that watches this. Anytime that I can have a chance to have anything watched, I'm always thankful of that. You know what I'm saying? And I hope I help people. That's really what my goal is in all of this is letting people get help. Giving people the opportunity there. And Chris, I know you're a lot like that as well. So I appreciate
It's what I live for.
Yeah, exactly. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I can't teach, I can't live.
Wow. That's serious. That's serious. There you go. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Always fun.
All right, community, look for Inside the Community. I will send the link so everybody, and you can join us in here for a little bit. She agreed, and she will hang around for just a little bit. But thank you. Thank you again for coming.